What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40k. More specifically, today I'm going over the best and the worst things you guys had to say about the brand new Space Marine 2 game. So, it's been a long time coming. We knew this game was supposed to come out for a while now. It got delayed, but it is finally here, and I think that delay was for the best, because this game is pretty much perfect if you're a 40k player. If you're not, it's still a really good game, and pretty much everybody that I've seen play this game only has good things to say. Now, why is that? So first and foremost, I went over on our community page and I asked you guys what's the best thing about this game, what's the worst thing, and there is a lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's dive into your comments. Obviously, everybody can agree that the best thing about this game is the lore, and just the feel of 40k is perfect throughout each and every mission of the game. The story mode pits you exactly how you think a Space Marine would do against the Tyranid invasion, and not just that, but you feel like a Space Marine. Your footsteps are heavy, your attacks do visceral damage, and overall, all the little things you see in the background just fits with the aesthetic of 40k. So if you were ever wondering what exactly is this tabletop game, if somebody plays Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, then they know exactly what the lore, the feel, the theme of Space Marine and overall 40k is. Crude Cloud goes on to say that this is a normal game that feels like it was made pre-2017. But this is a good thing, because there are no loot boxes. It has a season pass instead of a shitty battle pass. The roadmap looks good, and it was delivered in a finished state. It is nice to have a normal game nowadays. So that's true, because a lot of games are kind of rushed and put out there, and then you gotta buy skins, you gotta pay for battle passes and stuff like that. There are no microtransactions here, which they could have easily done. Just think about if we were only able to play as Ultramarines, and if we wanted to color swap or play a different chapter, we had to pay to get those skins. They could have easily done that, and they did not. So this is a huge benefit to the fan base, to the player base, where you pretty much pay it one time and you get all the goodies right then and there. Matt goes on to say that honestly, this game is just plain fun. It's undeniably brutal and gritty. He's been into 40k for over 20 years, and he didn't really care about Space Marines from the tabletop. He's more of a Xeno player, but this game is fun. He says it's enjoyable slaying nids with friends, especially through crossplay. I'm hoping they add more stuff eventually to keep it fresh. Gene Stealers, anyone? So yeah, that's one of the cool things about this game. It's cross-platform compatibility, so if you got friends on Xbox or PC and you have a PlayStation, all three of you can join together to slay the enemies of the Emperor. And speaking of those enemies, yes, we can easily see more enemies being added. There is going to be a horde mode going into effect pretty soon, so that's really awesome. Maybe they can add different types of not just nids, but maybe other Xenos into the fray. But I think at that point, you're probably looking into more of a paid DLC instead of just fleshing out different characters or different color schemes or different models for the same races. But all in all, the things they can do with this game can be insurmountable. You could have different types of classes being brought in. I believe there are rumors of the Apothecary being another playable class for the Space Marines. But man, I can't wait to see what else they add into this game. Now, of course, not all is good with this game. There is a lot that a lot of you guys were complaining when it comes to Space Marine. And the biggest one is the fact that I have to work instead of playing. Yes, most of us are pretty much adults, and we have other things to do instead of playing the game. Now, the good thing but bad thing about this is that the story mode is only roughly about 10 hours, so you can easily beat that in a day, and then just spend the rest of your time either playing with friends, playing the PvP or PvE aspects of the video game. So yeah, I guess it is kind of a downside that the story mode is just so short. Another thing you guys were complaining about is the loading times. The reason for that is because of the engine that is used to render in all the Tyranid bodies. It's the same guys that did World War Z, so in order to have a fully fleshed out detailed world and have this many enemies on screen, yeah, the engine of the PC, the PlayStation, the Xbox does have to work harder to load in all those assets in. So of course it's going to take a little bit longer for the load times, but it's a seamless play session from point A to B. It's not like you're going to be loading in between room to room or anything like that. I do see a lot of people say that sometimes the frame rate does drop, and again, that's because there's so much going on at once on screen. So yes, that's a negative, but at the same time, you're kind of expected to have these kind of hiccups. Now, the game has only been out for roughly a week, 2 weeks if you got the early edition, so of course there will be more patches coming out to help fix that and make it more of a seamless experience. A few people also noted that the price tag is a bit too much. $70 for this game I don't think is a bad thing. First of all, we gotta support the developers and everything like that. If this game was maybe 50 or 40, it's a completed game. You have your story mode, you've got the PvE aspect where you don't just have to go out there and have a paid subscription to play against other people. You can play by yourself doing missions, and of course, like I said, there is a horde mode coming in. So I think the paid aspect of this game is really good, considering that there are no microtransactions. And lastly, you guys said that you feel like some of the bolters or their weapons don't do enough damage to the enemies. For example, a heavy bolt rifle must shoot 3 to 4 shots to take down a gaunt. That just does not make sense lore-wise, and of course it doesn't. That's going to be more of a gameplay mechanic, so in order for the game to actually feel like a game instead of a one-to-one simulation of being a Space Marine, obviously some things aren't going to line up there. But that's all I got for you guys today. As you can see, I feel like the negatives are very, very few, and they're just things that can easily become overcome with time, such as getting better loading times, more skins, and different enemy types, which we know is coming with the season pass. So we just gotta be patient and expect more things from this awesome game. Honestly, I think they blew it out of the park. They did a tremendous improvement over Space Marine 1. If you guys played Space Marine 1, this is pretty much the exact same game as that, just on a whole different level. Basically, Space Marine 1 was regular Firstborn Space Marines. This is the Primaris version to a T, and I'm here for it. I can't wait to see what other missions are going to give us, what other types of enemies. I am excited. If we could play as chaplains, that would be the cherry on top. But let me know your thoughts down below. What would you give Space Marine 2 out of 10? And are you excited to purge more enemies in the name of the Emperor? As always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you then. Peace.